May 25th, 1988 was a day filled with happy, joyful time, as well as emotions that were very hard to endure. I was about 8 weeks early in my pregnancy. We headed to the hospital. Very excited time to drive to the hospital and call the grandparents and tell them that their grandchild was on its way. And during that time, as we were in the operating room waiting for the birth of our child, these words came to us. The doctor said, "We've got a problem." I asked if I had a boy or a girl, and they could not tell me at that moment.
I truly believe that from day one, God had a plan. I mean, I know the doctors said that I wasn't going to make it.
Reagan was born with what is called cloaca exstrophy, and that is where there is no skin and no muscles that cover her body in her stomach area, I guess. Her pelvic was not fused together. She was spina bifida. Her bladder was split in half. There was just numerous things at that time that was determined that were medically wrong with her. Over the next 2 to 3 years, Reagan continued to have surgeries after surgeries and numerous hospital visits.
One of the doctors that still to this day I'm so close to was the first doctor that ever operated on me, and he assured my father that God uses his hands to perform each surgery.
At the age of 7, Reagan had an infection. It was a hole in her intestines that basically just took over her entire body. And we were admitted into the hospital where she underwent a surgery. Then in turn she had internal bleeding, organs started to shut down. We were in the ICU unit for several months. And at one point in time the doctors came in to the room with her father and I and told us to be prepared that Reagan's time was very short and that we probably had about 2 hours left with her.
I had an experience in 2nd grade where I was in the ICU in a coma, and I was having internal bleeding, and I know I was very, very sick, and the doctors told my mom to go ahead and plan my funeral.
I remember just sitting down and starting to pray and asking God just to either take her if she was in pain, and then I started bargaining with him. I wanted, God, I'll do this for you, I'll do this, and just keep her here, just keep her here. I kept praying over and over and over.
I didn't share what had happened to me while I was under that, and I had an out-of-body experience, and so I saw my body lying there, and I remember at age 7 just praying that God would let me live so that I could live a life for him.
And at that point, and it was as if I could just hear his voice, God said, "Do you get it? I didn't give Reagan to you because you were strong. I gave you Reagan to make you stronger. And what are you going to do with it now? What are you going to do that will glorify me?" I'm happy to say that that's why we have Ragans H.O.P.E today, is to bring him glory and to know that that's what we need to be doing to support and help other families endure what they're going through.
And now I'm able to go back and share my story and just kind of help others along the way. So I feel like it's been such a blessing, and I just encourage anyone that's going through any kind of struggle and anything, to just set their mind on what the outcome could be and how that could impact their life and many others.
Ragans H.O.P.E really focuses on families that have had a child with a catastrophic illness. We are not one that goes and just does specific cancer or MD or anything like that. We are there for any type of catastrophic illness. All of our volunteers are part of the prayer team, so you get daily updates on the children as we get those, and which is really neat, because even if you are writing a card or on the prayer team, you get to really know the families by first name. And so many times the volunteers will say, hey, give me an update on Matthew, because you've gotten to know the families just by the prayer requests. We have a meal team that delivers meals to either the hospital or to the home. A lot of times the families, one parent is at the hospital with a child that's sick, and the other parent is at home with the rest of the children, or it could be a single parent. We have a on-call team. That on-call team is one that does a lot of things around the house, whether that be mowing the yard, fixing a fence, we're making just repairs, cleaning the house, anything that's needed. We have a card team that writes cards to families. Those are cards of encouragement. We do have a financial team as well that works on donations and gets fundraising going for that. And then we have a team that does a lot of just data entry and assistance with clerical things.
You know, you look up from a child who's sick in a hospital bed, and you see the mother and the dad, and they're struggling too, and they've had a rocky road behind them, and then they have a lot of, you know, a tough road ahead of them as well.
Our daughter contracted hemolytic uremic syndrome, which is it's an attack, I guess a complication of E. coli.
I mean, she came, I think, every day asking us what we needed. I remember gas cards. I remember food, lots of food. But most importantly, prayers. And Reagan actually would come sometimes with Delina, and she would paint Riley's toenails and fingernails. And
I think it's more just trying to make it a normal environment for them, because I know that helped me. So I try to bring that in with each situation, whether it's painting a little girl's nails or, you know, playing dress up as much as you possibly can. Or
well, we have a 9-year-old daughter, JC, and when she was born with a birth defect, Pierre Robin. We had no idea until she was born that that was the case. They've provided support in just about any way we could imagine or need, even when we maybe weren't in a place where we could realize we needed it. It's been through meals and, of course, prayer and visits at the hospital, at our home, gifts for our children at different holidays, just a friend to be there and to provide really whatever support we've needed.
Such a huge impact. I was like, I can't believe they're coming every day. I mean,
we never left the hospital, so the last thing you want to worry about is your lawn, your being mowed, paying bills, going to work. I mean, just stuff, it's your child, you don't know if they're going to make it or not.
They have volunteers that are always available, waiting with a hug, waiting with love. They're waiting to pray for you, pray with you, just to encourage you along the road that you have ahead.
I remember when one gentleman came and talked to me that he'd been through the exact same thing with his son. He knew what we were going through, and my daughter was at a very critical stage at that point. And I asked him, how is your son? And he said he passed away. And for me, that just kind of I broke down, started crying there with him. He kind of just held me, because, I mean, I don't know, even though he's a stranger, he knew exactly what we were going through.
I just remember thinking, wow, I guess I'd never been served that way before, so.
You can just give 20 minutes of your time, you can give a whole day. Whatever you have to give, Ragans Hope will utilize your time and talents appropriately and the best way for the families in the organization.
I was able to just kind of see how everything unfolded and how going from me being the one in the hospital to now going and seeing a little kid and just kind of being able to comfort them and understand what they were going through and give him some sort of hope and peace about it.
We have teenagers now who are also giving back, and they are able to volunteer at the different Ragans Hope events that we have.
You don't have to commit to this crazy schedule, just go and try it one time. Or just get it. If you don't have a lot of time, write some get well cards or get involved, get your kids in, using whatever artistic ability, maybe they don't, whatever, just start somewhere.
We have so many families that now volunteer because of what we've done, and I think that just shows that this is such a wonderful foundation and how it's being used in such a greater good than I could have ever even imagined.
You think that you're going to help them, and you are, but it really helps you. It makes you very grateful and very thankful.
A lot of times these families are financially strapped due to the medical bills.
The time that it takes to take care of a child with serious ongoing medical issues takes away from your career, takes away from your ability to earn your income, and then you're struggling with maybe the issues that come with the insurance coverage and the doctors and all those medical bills.
Not only are you supporting children who might be in a difficult circumstance, but you're going to support their caretakers, you're going to support their extended family, and you're going to have your dollars just expand throughout families, throughout communities.
Obviously, we would love to have you as a volunteer and serving alongside of us, but in addition to that, there are some financial contributions that can be made. We have several companies in the area that have partnered with us. One is for Stream Energy, and Stream Energy allows you to sign up for electricity through a special Ragans Hope link. And with that, every meter that is signed up, we receive $5 per month. The other area that we have is Tom Thumb. And through Tom Thumb, through your reward card, you can link your card to Ragans Hope, and this allows us to receive 1% every month from your purchases. We're very happy to announce that we have Lovey Love, which is a puppy that Phoebe Phillips has designed for us. With that puppy is a book, and a children's book that is in English and Spanish, and that book is for the children to get a little better understanding of when things bad happens to them. It gives them comfort.
And one of the things that we want to make sure that whenever we're writing a check and we're giving it to something that we strongly believe in, is that organization is very lean and from an organizational perspective, so that the money that we donate, we know it's going to where it should be.
We take pride that your donation, over 90% of that donation goes directly to the family. We don't have overhead as far as salaries, rent, utilities that we pay out of your donation.
I want to talk with companies who are looking for organizations to invest some funds into, and I want to show them how Ragans Hope just started out as a small group of hearts who just wanted to do something good for families, and how it's grown statewide.
We're growing in the number of families and kids that we're supporting, so that's a huge need to continue to grow, and the need is so enormous because there are so many children and so many families in difficult situations, especially when the economy is so tough.
We are here long term. We are not a organization that's going to write a check, hand that over to the family, and then walk away. We're not one that's going to make one hospital visit, give the child a stuffed animal, and then walk away.
we didn't even know what step to take, where to turn, and just to have somebody there. Even our friends and family didn't even know. We had never experienced something like this. And so just to have somebody there just to say, we are going to walk alongside you, we are going to go down this journey with you.
Being able to just do a little bit of what Christ, wants us to do and to give back. I mean, that's what it is. It's helping parents and children in need when they need it the most.
They've been there to celebrate the successes and the triumphs, and equally they have been there to guide us through and to support us in so many different ways when things weren't going so well.
I want to thank you in advance for considering us, and know that your contribution will be one that will be used, that will touch other families such as your family. You never know when you're going to need an organization like ours.
I could not be more thankful, and I would not change anything that I've ever had to go through the years, because seeing how much of an impact my mom and all the volunteers and the families that we've supported, I mean, it has been the biggest testimony as far as just how God is working with us.